I want to shift the focus a little bit to the business of PlanIt Sound. Now, part of it too is, I'm curious, but what's like the craziest project you've worked on at PlanIt Sound?
Man, the craziest project. Okay, I mean, I can give you an example right now that's top of mind because I feel like every project is unique and has its own level of crazy in it. Something that's top of mind, which we've talked about recently, is India Rising. So it's a project that we shot. A friend of mine who's actually, works out of our studio now, Bad Films, Mo and Maz, and then Nav as well, who is part of India Rising. We had this opportunity to go out and film this documentary that is the first time ever a pro Indian basketball team was formed to compete in the TBT, ESPN's amateur competition, but NBA ballers still play in this tournament for $1 million. Oh, wow. So it's the first time that this East Indian team was going to be formed. All pro guys. And so we had this opportunity to go out and shoot it, and it was going to be tied to this production company out of the States that had this huge budget that was going to do it. It was like $250,000 budget or something like that. And so we're all set, and everything was already very last minute. The shoot was going to happen a week out. It was like already very last minute and a tight schedule. And then for whatever reason, there were some rights issues they had with India Rising and the production company that didn't end up working out, and the production company backed out. So there was no budget. And those are kind of those roadblocks where, it's like a crazy roadblock where everybody is sort of deflated, right. And it's like things were really ramping up, the details were coming together, and then suddenly it's gone. Whereas my mindset was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mo, this is perfect. We're the production crew, We don't really need that production crew and just for us to go out and be shooters. We can take on a little bit more of a creative capacity now and go out and do it for less money, lower our rates. But I'm also a big fan of doing things for the right reason. The money will follow. And when you make the right creative decision and you decide things based on what you want to do, good things will always come of that. And I'm like, man, I want to go to Toronto. I want to go to New York. I want to shoot this tournament. This is a really dope idea that we need to be a part of. And so fast forward, we went out, we shot it. They covered our expenses to go out. We did it for a very small fee. But now there's an opportunity that maybe ESPN wants to pick this thing up, and it's going to be a full-fledged documentary. So just a crazy story where you never know where it's going to take you. Yeah. And I think if you're excited to do something and your heart is in it and it's like up your alley like basketball is for me, do it. Do that shit, Yeah. And good things will always come of that.
Yeah. As an entrepreneur and an owner, talk to me about the journey you've gone through and continue to go through. What are some of the challenges you faced as an entrepreneur? And I mean, PlanIt Sound was operational during COVID, and I've seen some of the videos about, helping small businesses through and giving them some ideas. But tell me a little bit about the entrepreneurial side of running PlanIt Sound.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the entrepreneurial spirit was ingrained for me from a really, really young age. I grew up in a convenience store. My parents owned 3 Red Roosters. And so from a very young age, as soon as I was tall enough to stand on a milk crate, I was serving customers at the cash register. I was stocking shelves and making sure all of the labels were facing forward. I was doing all of these little things and, going with my parents early before I was even in kindergarten to open the store at 7 a.m. They had to bribe me with a sausage McMuffin to get me up and go to the store.
Right.
And that's what I knew. I hang out at the back of my parents' shop, eat unlimited chips and chocolate and slushes. That was my payment for when I started working, was I got to get this sugar addiction, which I'm still facing today. So from a very young age, that was kind of really ingrained in me. So some of those, I think that was a real advantage for us in starting PlanIt Sound and understanding some of the ins and outs of what comes along with that. It's unlimited freedom and flexibility with an unlimited grind and hard days all at the same time, you know? And so being able to understand that, I think from a very young age really translated into what we do at PlanIt Sound. So I think one of the other advantages, you know, when companies start up is we started with the first year or two making no money, but my wife, girlfriend at the time, Rowena, continued with her full-time job. You know, she kept anything she touches turns to gold. So every agency she was at with the youth work we were doing, she kept getting promoted and promoted and promoted. Whereas I was just slacking and doing just enough to get paid
Right.
and like hang out with the kids and
yeah.
just the all heart part of it, right? Where she was very good at the programming and the program design and stuff. And so she continued doing that so that we had a full-time income while we started PlanIt Sound together as partners. And that was how we were able to do it. It was, you know, calculated risk. It was not like, okay, let's lose our shorts here and like do the best we can. It was a calculated risk. And we knew the first few years were going to be hard to get through that. But eventually, she was able to quit and we were able to move forward, get an office and actually, you know, do the thing full force. But yeah, so I think there were a lot of pieces. And another advantage to that is when we focused on the skill sets that we already had. So as an audio brand company, we already had this, you know, $50,000 studio that I had been investing in over a decade that was there. And like, let's utilize that and build something off of that and build something off my skill set with people and music production and your skill set of being community focused. And I think we were able to start in the first couple of years without a really high overhead that was really help us able to push through those difficult times.
Yeah.